Marcus Vinicius will wake today at 4 in the morning to the wail of a war horn and go where smoke and screams come from. An ordinary day for a legionary of the 10th Legion Fortensis, except this day he'll remember 40 years later, sitting on his plot near Ravenna and never be able to tell his son about it. August, 70 AD, Jerusalem. 4 months of siege, and today Titus gave the order for final assault. Marcus is 28, 6th year of service, 3rd serious siege in his career. He's from a peasant family, signed up for 20 years for a land grant after discharge. 13 years until pension, if he's lucky enough to survive. By day's end, he'll see what he'll stay silent about for the rest of his life. But it'll start like usual, with disgusting porridge and armor inspection.
4 years ago, Jewish radicals massacred the Roman garrison in Jerusalem and declared independence. Nero sent Vespasian with 3 legions to pacify them. War dragged on. Emperor chose to leave this life. Civil war began in Rome itself. Vespasian became emperor, transferred command to his son Titus. In spring of 70, Titus brought 4 legions to Jerusalem's walls. 60,000 soldiers against a city where zealots, Sicarii, and hundreds of thousands of pilgrims who came for Passover and didn't manage to leave were trapped. 10th Legion Fortensis, one of the oldest in the Roman army, formed under Augustus. Emblem, boar, and warship. Legion fought through the entire Judean campaign from 67, Gamala, Jericho, Masada. 5,200 soldiers divided into 10 cohorts. Marcus serves in 4th cohort, 2nd maniple, Contubernium of Centurion Publius Corvinus. 8 men in one tent who've shared bread, wine, and pay for 3 years. Marcus is from near Ravenna. Father rented a plot from a large landowner. 4 children, constant deaths. At 18, Marcus went to the nearest recruitment office. Legionaries get paid 225 denarii per year plus provisions, and after 20 years of service, they give land or money to buy it. For a tenant's son, this is the only chance to become an owner. In 6 years, he learned to build a camp in 3 hours, march 30 kilometers a day with 30 kilograms of gear, hold formation under a hail of arrows, and sleep anywhere. He learned to kill in close combat 2 years ago near Gamala. Since then, dreams got worse, but hands don't shake in battle anymore. Jerusalem has been under siege since April. First they took the outer wall, then the second spent a month storming Antonia Fortress. Now only the temple complex remains. Zealots hold every stone because they know no prisoners. Romans lost over 1,000 men in 4 months. In Marcus's Contubernium, of 8 original men, 5 remain. 3 were replaced by recruits from Syria who haven't seen a real assault yet. Story of one day of a common soldier in the most brutal siege of antiquity. Hit the like button and subscribe, and we begin this journey with Marcus.
The Bucina roared in darkness so that Marcus jumped before he woke. 4 in the morning, August, but the tent is already stuffy from 8 sleeping bodies and smell of unwashed skin. Nearby, Lucius groaned. He got drunk on cheap wine yesterday and now pays the price. Centurion Corvinus already on his feet, kicking those who delay. Up, bastards! Today we take the temple or I'll crucify you all. Marcus reached for his tunic. It stinks of sweat and smoke, but there's no clean one for 2 weeks. In tent corner, Gaius Silvanus, veteran with 16 years service, already wrapping a fasce on shins. Does it mechanically, not fully opening eyes. Recruit Tiberius, a Syrian, fumbles with straps. Served 3 months, first assault. Marcus remembers his first time near Gamala. He threw up right before leaving camp then. 1 wash basin per contubernarium. 8 men splash with cold water from a skin. Marcus rubs face, trying to shake off sleep remnants. In reflection of worn bronze mirror Lucius drags around, sees familiar face. Tanned, week-old beard, scar above eyebrow. 28 years, but looks older. Breakfast cooks in huge cauldrons for entire cohort. Pulse, barley porridge legionaries hate with all their souls. Thick, bland, cooled. With it they give a piece of hard cheese and a ladle of pasca, sour, diluted wine that kills microbes in water. Marcus chews slowly, washing down with bitter liquid. Gaius nearby throws his portion to dogs circling the cauldrons. Veteran's stomach no longer accepts this crap in mourning. Heard we're burning the temple? Lucius speaks quietly, glancing at Centurion. There's tons of gold there. If we survive, we'll get rich. Marcus is silent. He's seen how trophies are divided after assault. Officers get lion's share, centurions good pieces, common soldiers scraps. But Lucius is right about one thing. If they reach the temple alive, there's a chance to grab something. After breakfast, equipment check. This is sacred ritual that can save life.
Marcus pulls his Lorica segmentata from leather bag, segmented armor of steel plates. 20 kilograms of metal he wears like second skin. Checks every leather strap, every rivet. One torn strap in battle and plate slides, exposing ribs to strike. Helmet, Montefortino, old pattern, with longitudinal crest and wide cheek guards. Inside, felt padding soaked in sweat and oil. Visor dented, trace from stone that flew last week. Shield, scutum, rectangular, just over 1 meter tall. 3 layers of wood covered with leather and bound with bronze. In center, umbo, steel hemisphere that can break a nose in melee. On face side, drawn boar, 10th Legion emblem. Paint peeled, leather torn in 2 places. Gladius hangs on right side, short sword 60 centimeters long. Weapon for close quarter slaughter. Marcus draws it, checks blade with finger. Sharp. Yesterday he sharpened for an hour until sunset. On left side of belt, Pugio, dagger. Backup option if sword is knocked out or breaks. 2 pilums lie at tent entrance. Heavy throwing spears with long iron point. Weigh 2 kilograms each. Thrown once from 20 meters before closing. After hit, point bends. Spear can't be thrown back. Brilliant Roman engineering. Lucius fusses with sandals. Caligae, army footwear with iron nails in sole. Excellent traction, but after march, feet are bloody. Marcus's are already broken in, fit like glove. Gaius checks loculus. Leather bag containing 3 days' rations. Spare tunica, needle and thread, whetstone. Marcus also puts in small bronze figurine of Mars. Gift from mother before leaving for service. Doesn't really believe in gods, but let it lie there. Silvanus, Vinicius, inspection! Centurion Corvinus roars. Old wolf with face scarred. 22 years in legions, participated in British campaign under Claudius. Tough, fair, doesn't lose head in battle. Marcus lines up with rest. Corvinus walks around, checks straps, jerks armor plates, looks at sword sharpening.
Tiberius, your shield's like a sieve. Where'd you tear it? Syrian fidgets, mutters something. Corvinus hits him on helmet with vine staff handle, symbol of Centurion's power. After assault, you'll sew it. Today, stay behind the others' backs, puppy. Marcus hears someone praying in neighboring tent, quietly but words distinguishable. Appeal to Mithras. Cult popular among soldiers, god of invincible sun, patron of warriors. Marcus isn't an adherent, but understands. Before assault, everyone seeks something to cling to. Sun hasn't risen yet, but camp hums like disturbed hive. 5,000 men prepare for battle. Hammering, armorers repair last pieces of armor. Horse neighing, cavalry saddling. Cart creaking, supply troops haul additional ladders and rams to walls. Smoke smell from fires mixes with smell of burning city in distance. Lucius pulls out dice. They play for copper asses, small change. Marcus refuses, saves money for future. Gaius silently looks at city. From hill, where camp is pitched, visible smoke rising over temple complex. Tiberius sits hugging knees, pale. Marcus sits down nearby. First time? Syrian nods. Stay close to Gaius, he knows what to do. And if they say retreat, retreat immediately. Heroes are buried first. Tiberius looks at him gratefully, but Marcus sees, boy is scared to death. Correctly scared. At 7, the Bucina roars again. Formation. Marcus puts on helmet, takes shield and spears. Armor presses on shoulders with familiar weight. He no longer remembers what it's like to walk light. Contubernamium lines up in 8. 8 contuberia form a century, 80 men under Corvinus's command. Centurion steps forward. Today we take the temple. Who enters first gets double share of trophies from tribune. Who retreats without order gets fustuarium. Fustuarium, beating with clubs. Roman army doesn't joke about desertion. Marcus stands in formation, feels heart beating faster. Not fear, body's habit before battle. Adrenaline already starting to work. Nearby, Lucius whispers something like prayer. Gaius chews cracker, imperturbable as rock. Tiberius breathes too fast. Sun rises over horizon. Ahead, Jerusalem, shrouded in smoke. Today, this city will fall. Question is only who among them will live until evening to see it.
10th Legion column stretched half a kilometer, 5 cohorts, 60 centuries, 4,500 men. Ahead move creaking wagons with siege engines, disassembled ballistae, bundles of arrows, spare rams. Behind them walks 1st cohort, Legion elite, centurions with transverse crests on helmets, standard bearers with eagle and banners. Marcus marches in 4th cohort, middle of column. Dust rises so thick you can't see beyond 10 meters. Sun already beating hard. By noon will be 100 degrees in shade. Armor heats up, sweat floods eyes. But Centurion Corvinus sets rhythm without mercy. In Roman army, it's not customary to spare feet. Make way, make way! A rider roars, galloping past formation. On scarlet cloak, gold patches. Tribune. Gallops to column head with some urgent report to Titus. Marcus sees dust from hooves settling on faces of comrades wet with sweat. Lucius curses under breath. Yesterday's hangover makes itself known. Tiberius breathes through mouth, recruit not yet used to forced marches in full kit. To right, beyond olive groves, smoke rises. This is Upper City burning. Romans set it on fire week ago when they took second wall. Smell of burning mixes with dust and sweat. Marcus knows this smell. Wood, cloth, something else better not to think about. After Gamala, he learned not to ask extra questions. By 9 morning, column approaches siege positions at northern wall of temple complex. Here, Roman engineers have been working 2 weeks. Digging tunnels, building ramps, hauling huge stone throwers. Ballistae stand in rows like predators ready to pounce. Crews in leather aprons turn winches, tightening bowstrings of horsehair. Arrows long as a man lie in stacks. Centurion Corvinus stops sentry near pile of stones. Remains of merchant's house demolished for better view. Halt, check weapons. 1st and 2nd Contubernium reserve behind siege towers. Marcus ends up in 2nd. Means won't go in 1st wave. We'll wait for orders and watch others die in breaches. From hill where they're positioned, visible entire northern wall of Jerusalem. 15 meters high, built of huge white blocks. On towers flash figures of defenders, zealots in white tunics with shields and spears, some without armor at all. Rebels don't have Roman supply discipline, but fight desperately, Marcus knows from experience. Gaius Silvanus pulls out leather pouch, pours handful of barley. Dry rations in case battle drags until evening. Chews slowly, methodically, washing down from flask with posca. Veteran has habit, eat well before battle. Tiberius, eat, he tosses to recruit. Don't want to. Eat, I said. You'll need strength in battle. Syrian obediently chews, though visible, he's nauseous with fear. At 10, a trumpeter signals, 3 short, 1 long. Artillery barrage begins. Ballistae fire in volley, 50 machines simultaneously. Air cut by huge arrows and stones weighing as much as a man. Marcus hears them whistle overhead, crash against walls, people scream on towers. Dust and fragments fly everywhere. Beautiful, Lucius roars, clapping hands. He likes watching siege engines work. Marcus is silent. He's seen what happens to a person when ballista arrow hits them. Saw at Gamala how such arrow pierced 2 zealots through and stuck in wall behind them. After hour of bombardment, new signal, 4 short. Siege towers begin moving toward wall. Huge wooden structures on wheels, tall as wall itself.
Inside, ladders, assault groups, rams at base. Hundreds of men push them toward breach, covering themselves with wide shields from defenders' arrows. "Look how it burns!" Tiberius points at one tower. Zealots throw pots of combustible mixture at it, oil, tar, sulfur. Wooden walls flare. Men inside scream, jump out, roll on ground trying to beat out flames. Marcus turns away. In fire burns legionary no older than Tiberius, maybe also recruit. But one tower reaches wall. Iron clangs, assault bridge lowers.
First legionaries run across it, waving swords. Zealots meet them with spears and stones. Melee on narrow platform, brutal, no mercy. Marcus sees Roman shield split from club blow. Soldier falls down, next takes his place. "They're going!" Gaius shouts, pointing at wall. In one place appeared breach, stones collapsing, forming passage 3 men wide. Assault groups of first cohort immediately rush there. Shields closed, swords ready, shouting, "Roma! Roma!" Legion battle cry. Zealots don't retreat. From towers fly arrows, stones, pots of boiling oil. Several Romans fall right at breach, but rest step over bodies and climb further. Marcus hears clang of metal, screams, groans of wounded. Smoke covers everything, from fires, from dust, from burning oil. "Second wave, prepare!" Centurion Corvinus roars. Means first assault group bogged down in street fighting and needs reinforcement. Marcus rises, checks shield straps, holds pilum ready. Heart beats faster, palms damp. Always like this before battle. Body prepares for what might be final minutes of life. Lucius nearby whispers prayer. Not to Mars or Jupiter, to Mithras, god of sun and warriors. "Invincible sun, give me strength to kill Rome's enemies." Tiberius trembles with fine tremor, not from cold, from fear. Gaius chews leather cud, calm as rock. For him, this is ordinary working day. At noon, signal given, 5 short, then 2 long. Second wave goes forward. Marcus runs toward breach with 100 comrades, stepping over bodies of fallen, slipping on blood and dust. Ahead, dark passage in wall, behind which heard screams and clang of weapons. Today, he'll enter Jerusalem for first time, and see what he'll remember all his life. First thing that hit Marcus beyond breach, smell. Rot, smoke, filth, death. 4 months of siege turned Jerusalem into pit. Marcus breathes through mouth, but it doesn't help. Stench permeates everything. Street narrow, 3 meters wide, 2-story houses of white stone. Walls riddled with arrows, windows blocked. Every house turned into fortress. Bodies lie on pavement, Romans, zealots, civilians. So many flies the air hums. "Formation! Hold formation!" Centurion Corvinus roars. 8 men of Contubernium line up in 2 ranks, shields forward. Marcus in first rank, Gaius left, Lucius right. Tiberius in second, holds spear with trembling hands. Ahead scouts, 2 legionaries without shields. One peeks into alley, waves hand, clear. Column moves on. Marcus hears screams ahead, melee. Someone's cry, "Help!" and silence. "Halt!" Corvinus raises hand. Ahead barricade, overturned cart, barrels, debris. No one visible behind it. Marcus grips gladius handle tighter, heart pounding. "Testudo! Tortoise!" Marcus raises shield overhead, locks with neighbors. Under tortoise, dark, stuffy. They move toward barricade. Suddenly, something crashes on shield, stone about 3 kilograms. Marcus almost drops shield. Then another. Zealots on roofs. "Hold formation!" Corvinus roars. One shield shifts, recruit couldn't hold. Through breach, flies stone, hits legionary in shoulder, bone crunches. Formation closes. They reach barricade, dismantle it under shields. From corner jumps zealot with spear, aims at Lucius. Marcus throws shield forward, knocking spear down. Zealot, young, dark beard, dirty tunic, tries to pull weapon. Marcus takes step, strikes gladius from below upward under ribs. Blade enters easily. Blood spurts on hand, hot, sticky.
Zealot looks with wide eyes, wheezes. Marcus jerks sword out, body falls. First time close up, he saw eyes, saw life leaving. "Vinicius, move!" Gaius pushes him. Marcus starts, feet carry forward automatically. Brain switched off, survival road.
Beyond barricade, 3 more. Melee and narrow street, tough, dirty. Gaius strikes with shield to face, finishes with sword. Lucius cuts legs, pierces fallen. Marcus fights third, feint left, strike to liver, finish in neck. Textbook, technique. Forward, Corvinus leads on. Square, full of Roman soldiers. Someone looting, someone finishing wounded, someone sitting by wall. Nearby dead legionary, shield pierced, armor broken through, eyes open. "Water!" Tiberius wheezes, white as sheet. Marcus hands flask. Syrian drinks greedily, half on chin. Lucius laughs hysterically. "See how I cut his legs?" Gaius silent, wipes sword. Even veterans' hands shake. Marcus cleans his sword with rag, automatic action. Ahead, new screams. Arrow flies 2 meters away, sticks in door. Halt, 10 minutes. Legionaries collapse wherever. Marcus removes helmet, drinks long. Nearby wounded dragged by 2, leg crushed, bone sticking out. Marcus turns away. Tiberius vomits in corner. No one laughs. Lucius smokes, shares with Gaius. Sun at zenith, 2 afternoon. 10 hours since dawn, whole lifetime. When will this meat grinder end? Lucius looks at smoke. "When we take Temple," Gaius answers. "That's last stronghold." "And we can loot?" Lucius smiles. "We can loot," veteran nods. At 3, Bucina roars. Command continue. Marcus puts on helmet, takes shield. Body numb, brain on autopilot. No fear, only fatigue and desire to live until day's end. They move deeper into city, past burning houses, piles of corpses, groaning wounded. Jerusalem dying. And Marcus, cog in death machine that won't stop until enemy capitulates. At 6 evening, Bucina signals withdrawal. First wave returns to camp. Marcus walks silently, helmet in hand, hair stuck to forehead. Shield weighs a ton. Left shoulder numb from hours of carrying. Feet move mechanically. Centurion Corvinus does head count at camp entrance. Of 8 conturbinium men, 7 returned. Marcus, Gaius, Lucius, Tiberius, Fabius, Sextus, Drusus. No Gaius Marcius, that young guy from Campania who played dice yesterday. His shield found near one barricade, pierced through by spear. Body not searched for, no time. 1 killed, 2 wounded, Centurion scratches something on wax tablet. Marcus didn't know about wounded. Turns out Fabius got deep cut on thigh, wrapped with rag and made it to camp. Sextus broke 2 fingers on right hand, shield crushed in crowd. Both remain in ranks, minor wounds. Corvinus leaves to report to Tribune about losses. 7 remaining collapse on grass by tent, silent. Even Lucius doesn't chatter. Tiberius stares at one point, recruit in shock. First battle burns something in brain forever. "Can go for trophies," Gaius says quietly, "before darkness falls." By tradition, after day's combat ends, soldiers allowed to return to city and take what they find. Officially not looting, spoils of war. Main rule, don't touch temple until Titus's order. For that, crucifixion. Marcus, Gaius, and Lucius return to city. Streets full of legionaries. Someone dragging sacks, someone leading bound prisoners, someone just rummaging through destroyed houses. Marcus enters merchant's house. 2-story structure, facade collapsed from ballista strike. Inside, dark, smells of burning. On floor lie broken amphorae, cloth, furniture pieces. Everything valuable already taken. Marcus climbs to 2nd floor. Stairs shaky. In bedroom searches chest. Empty. Under overturned bed finds small box. Opens. Inside, silver bracelet with engraving. Handful of coins. Woman's ring with stone. Marcus quickly hides find in tunic. Downstairs hears voices. Lucius and Gaius also found something. Goes down, they exit. At fire, divide loot. Marcus pours on cloak. Bracelet, 12 silver denarii, ring. Lucius got bronze lamp, handful of copper coins.
Gaius found dagger with bone handle and jug of oil. Divide brotherly. Each gets 3 to 4 denarii, rest in contubernium common pot, almost month's pay. Lucius laughs, bites coin checking authenticity. Marcus hides his share in leather pouch, ties to belt under tunic. 3 denarii, weaken tavern after demobilization, or sack of grain for future farm. Not all lucky. In neighboring contubernium returned empty-handed. All houses in their sector already looted earlier. Others found only rags and broken dishes. Centurions took all silver and gold they came across. Such is legion law. By 8, evening dinner distributed. Good today, meat from captured livestock, flatbreads, vegetables, wine. More wine than usual. After successful assault, command generous. Marcus eats greedily, not tasting. Organism demands replenished lost calories. At fire gathers whole contubernium. Fabius bandages thigh with clean cloth. Wound shallow, will heal. Sextus tied fingers to spear shaft. Improvised splint. Drusus shows trophy knife. Good work, Syrian blade. Lucius drinks wine fast. Reddens, starts boasting exploits. Saw how I chopped that zealot once and head rolled. No one saw, but don't argue. After battle, everyone needs to talk it out. Gaius, silent, looks into fire. Veterans saw too many deaths to rejoice at one more. Tiberius sits apart, hugging knees. Face gray, eyes empty. Marcus sits nearby. First time hardest, then easier. Syrian silent. I also threw up after first battle, at Gamala. Couldn't eat all day. I killed a man, Tiberius says quietly. He had no armor, maybe not even warrior, just defending home. Marcus doesn't know what to answer. We all kill here. Such service. Think about being alive, and about land you'll get in 20 years.
Unconvincing, but no other comfort. Marcus himself not sure of words. Today, he saw eyes of that young zealot. He also was someone's son, maybe had family. Now he's dead, and Marcus alive. Justice has nothing to do with it. By 10, most get drunk, sing soldiers' songs, crude, vulgar, about women and drink. Marcus drinks little, head spins after 2 cups. Lucius falls face in grass, snores. Fabius tells story about centurion from 5th Legion who slept with tribune's wife. Everyone laughs. Marcus tries to write letter home. Pulls out scrap of papyrus, coal. Writes, "Mother, father, I'm alive and well. Today, took Jerusalem." And stops. What next? That he killed 3? That he saw temple burning? That he found silver bracelet in dead merchant's house? Crumples papyrus, throws in fire. Paper flares, burns in seconds. Some things can't be written. Some things better not remembered at all. In distance, beyond camp palisade, screams heard. Jerusalem burns, visible glow over city. From there come groans, crying, sometimes screams. City dying slowly, in agony. Marcus lies on bedding intent, pulls cloak over. Tries to sleep, but can't. Before eyes, face of that zealot, his surprised eyes, blood on Marcus's hands. Smell of burning and death lodged in nostrils, won't air out. Somewhere nearby, Tiberius quietly cries, thinks no one hears. Marcus closes eyes. Tomorrow, it'll all start again. Rise, porridge, march, battle, blood. Such is service in legions. 6 years behind, 14 ahead. If he survives.
At 11 evening, Marcus woken by boot kick inside. Vinicius, up, night shift on northern wall. Centurion Corvinus stands over him with torch. Marcus rises, head heavy. 2 hours sleep gave nothing. Puts on helmet, takes shield and spear. With him go Gaius and 4 more from other contubernia. Silently walk through camp, all sleep, only sentries at palisade. Exit through gates, head toward captured wall. Torches light road. Ground torn by catapult craters. Lie remains of siege engines, bodies not yet removed. On wall they're met by duty centurion. Tired, red eyes. 2 on tower, rest along perimeter. Shift at 4 morning. Marcus and Gaius climb steps to tower, 15 meters high. At top, wind, cold August wind bringing smell of smoke. Marcus looks down. Before him opens panorama he'll remember all his life. Jerusalem burns. Hundreds of fires across entire city. Red tongues of flame lick sky. Temple blazes especially fiercely. Huge building of white marble turning into bonfire. Romans set it on fire this evening. Fire devoured cedar beams and gold plating. From tower, visible everything. Streets clogged with corpses. Houses from which burst clouds of smoke. Squares where legionnaires set up temporary camps and burn fires. In distance, beyond the city, along roads, rows of crosses. Hundreds of crosses. On them crucified zealots caught trying to flee. Titus ordered crucify 500 per day, intimidation for those still resisting. Marcus here screams. From there, from city, come groans of wounded, women's crying. Sometimes, legionnaires' shouts, looting houses and finding hidden residents. Sometimes, weapons clanging when last defenders try to resist and are finished off. "What for?" Marcus says quietly, more to himself. "What's all this for?" Gaius, silent, looks at fire. "They rebelled against Rome," veteran finally answered. "Killed our garrison, declared independence. What did they think? We'd forgive?" But there were people who didn't fight at all. Marcus saw them today. Civilians hiding in basements, dragged out and finished or taken into slavery. Saw mother covering daughter, and legionary who pierced both with one spear thrust. Such is war. Gaius pulls out flask, drinks. When city taken by storm, no difference between warrior and civilian. All enemies. So it was in Carthage, so in Corinth, so everywhere. Rome doesn't forgive rebellions. Marcus looks at temple. Fire rises tens of meters up, sparks fly to sky. Somewhere inside burn priests who didn't want to leave their sanctuary. Sacred scrolls with their holy books burn. Gold on walls melts. Legionaries tomorrow will pick it from ashes. What am I doing here? Marcus doesn't expect answer, but words escape themselves. I'm from peasant family near Ravenna. My father plows land. I signed into Legion to get plot in 20 years. And here I stand on this wall, watching burning city, and hands to elbows in others' blood. Gaius turns to him. Veteran's face hard, scars on cheeks. Listen to me, Vinicius. Tomorrow you'll wake and all will start again. Formation, march, possibly another battle. Resistance pockets remain in city. Such is service. You think I didn't ask myself such questions? I'm in Legion 16 years. I saw dozens of cities burn, killed more people than I remember. And how do you live with it? Gaius smirks. No way. Just live. Do my job. Watch so comrades survive. Count days until pension. Drink when they give wine. That's all philosophy. Marcus silent. Somewhere below, scream rings out, short, cut off. Then legionaries' laughter. Marcus knows what's happening. After assault, always like this. Commanders look through fingers. Soldiers need to let off steam after battle. In day or two, they'll restore order, but now, chaos. I thought service in legions was glory, Marcus says. Triumphs, honors, stories of great victories. But this is just dirty work. Kill those who rebelled, burn cities, crucify prisoners. Glory is for commanders. Gaius looks at sky. For Titus, who'll ride into Rome on triumphal chariot and get ovations. For tribunes who'll write beautiful reports. You and I are just tool. Swords in empire's hands. They won't ask if we want. They won't remember us in 100 years. Temple fire begins to fade. Roof collapsed, walls collapsing. Millennial sanctuary turning into ruins. Marcus thinks his descendants possibly will live in world Rome built, at cost of such nights, such fires, such blood. Price of empire, he says aloud. Gaius nods. Price of empire. Someone must pay it, fell to us. They stand on tower until dawn, silently watch Jerusalem burn out. How fires go out, how first strip of light appears in east, new day. 7th year of Marcus Vinicius's service in 10th Legion Fretensis. 13 years until pension, if he survives. When shift ends and new sentries come, Marcus descends, walks to camp slowly, tired. Past palisade, past tents where comrades snore, head empty. Only one thought: tomorrow it'll all start again. This is exactly what he'll remember forever. Not battle, not killings, not trophies, but this night on tower, panorama of burning city. Understanding that he's part of machine that won't stop, and that there's no choice, only serve out and survive.
Year 110. Marcus Vinicius, 68 years, sits on porch of farm near Ravenna. Nearby plays grandson. 20 years in 10th Legion, from 64 to 84. Judean War, Masada, Jerusalem garrison. After discharge, got 20 ujra of land. Married, 2 children survived. Son serves on Rhine, daughter married, 4 grandchildren. Lives well, harvest stable, no debts. Veteran, dona militaria for bravery. But about Jerusalem never tells. They ask, answers briefly, served in East, and falls silent. Grandson runs up. Grandpa, really fought? Marcus nods. Killed many? Silent. Many. Will you tell? Shakes head. Not now. Boy wants stories about glory. Marcus could tell about burning temple, about faces of dead, about crucified, but stays silent. At night, dreams come. Narrow streets, zealot with beard, blazing temple. Gaius's voice. Tomorrow it'll all start again. Gaius died 5 years later. Lucius died of fever. Tiberius deserted, was crucified. 3 lived to pension. 10th Legion remained in Judea, guards province. Banners with boar fly over ruins. On wall hangs old Gladius and Falere. Family proud. Marcus looks rarely. History remembers Titus, emperor, victor. In Rome built arch, but doesn't remember Marcus Vinicius and thousands of other legionaries. Behind each victory, soldiers doing dirty work. Marcus drinks wine, remembers August 70 years ago. Night on tower when understood price of empire. Price paid by common soldiers for sake of land. He survived, got land, created family. But that night remained, not as pride, as burden. Knowing was part of machine, and that there was no choice. Grandson bursts in. Found nail. Marcus smiles. Good boy. Life continues. Empire stands. And he lives out days in silence, keeping silence about what remembers forever.